I'm Naomi Hawkins and I'm a senior lecturer here in the University of Exeter Law School. My research interests are in the fields of law and genomics, and I'm particularly interested in questions of intellectual property and medical law. The project that I'm working on at the moment looks at the role that patents play in the development and delivery of non-invasive prenatal testing. Non-invasive prenatal testing, or NIPT, is a really exciting new technology that's been developed relatively recently. And it relies on the fact that when a woman is pregnant, there is DNA circulating in her blood from the fetus that she's carrying. And so this test analyses the fetal DNA in her blood. You might ask why I'm interested in this, because obviously I'm a lawyer, not a geneticist, but the question that I'm focused on is the role that patents play in this field. And so it's particularly interesting to know that there are a number of patents on this testing technology, both from the very high level of a question of even the relationship between the fact that there is fetal DNA in the mother's blood, which can be analysed, but also on some of the more technical aspects of the test. The questions that I'm interested in are how these patents are influencing the behaviour of those who are developing the test and then also offering it in a clinical context. So particularly focused on the public sector laboratories that typically have offered genomic medicine in Europe. So I do empirical research, and this current project relies on interview methods. So I've spoken to people who are involved in this process of test development, particularly focused in the public sector, but as well talking to some of the companies that are involved in putting together a commercial test. So genomic medicine in Europe particularly has always been delivered through the public sector, and what this has typically meant, certainly with previous types of genetic medicine and genomic medicine, that genetic tests are delivered obviously within our NHS, but also by labs that are part of the NHS. So we've had relatively little commercial involvement in the field of genetic and genomic medicine until now. NIPT, in many respects, is a great case study to see how the commercial involvement will change the field of genomic medicine, because it's one of the first areas where the genetic aspect of medicine has broader applicability. Previously, genetic diseases have been rare diseases, so even with something like cystic fibrosis, which is fairly common, it still only affects a small number of people per year. And some diseases, it might be one person or two people per year who need a genetic test, even in the whole of the world. Pregnancy, on the other hand, is not a rare disease, so NIPT is applicable to a lot more people. So there are reasons why companies might be interested in that market. And so this way that companies are moving into the NHS, I think, is really interesting, and patents are obviously key to this commercial situation. I've always been interested in the fields of science and law, particularly medicine and law, and genetics is something that's really cutting edge and really is changing medicine greatly. Obviously, the way that law responds to this is important, and I guess in the field of medicine and law, we often say that law is playing catch-up. I think patent law is obviously designed to focus on new technologies. Obviously, you're patenting something that is new, but the patent system is sometimes slow to catch up, sometimes we're not quite sure how it should adapt or be applied, if you like, to a new field. And genetics is a great case study in that sense.